questions about anything yet? You want me to read this one in first? Okay, effective December 15, 2021, the street subjected to October 26, 2021 alley closure notice will be closed. Notice has been posted for 6 consecutive weeks as required by law. This closure shall remain in effect until otherwise revoked by ordinance. The village government shall permanently affix closure signs to the affected alleys in such manner that closure signs will be readily identifiable and able to be read. This ordinance will close the following alleys within the village of Mifflin. Unnamed alleys off of North Ohio Street between lots 86, 87, 88, 89, 94, 95, 96A and 97A, 98 and 99. Minnesota, Township Garage Parking. Georgia, between lots 82 and 83. Florida, between lots 32 and 33. Alabama, 35 and 36, 35A and 36B. Oregon, 20 and 21. Arkansas, 40, 41, 18 and 19. Alaska, lot 14 and 15, 14A through 15. Iowa, lot 52, 53, 52A to 53, 64 to 65. Unnamed alleys off of Ohio Street between lots 80 and 81, 78 and 79, 72 and 73, 74 and 75, 76 and 118. North Carolina, portion south of Georgia. Notice was published for 6 consecutive weeks beginning on October 26, 2021 pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 723.07. Further, once an alley is closed, then the council is authorized to gift the property to the landowners whose existing property line runs adjacent to the alley and the extending 5 feet outward to the center line of the now closed alley for their established property line or the length of their property line. Also, council is authorized to take all other actions and sign any documents necessary to complete said gift transaction and ensure property owners are able to acquire said titles. That by reasonable and immediate necessity for obtaining title to said property upon such favorable terms and thereby promote and continue redevelopment efforts, this measure is determined to be an emergency ordinance for the immediate preservation of the public peace, health, safety, and welfare of the village of Mifflin and its inhabitants, and therefore, upon its passage, it will take effect and be enforced immediately upon its passage. Otherwise, from and after the earliest time allowed by law after its passage and approved by the mayor. Okay, we need you guys have any questions?
I have a section of property that's on Louisiana. That was part of the closure, right?
No.
Louisiana is not now?
Not behind your house.
Okay.
What about mine? Behind mine,
Yeah.
it is. These are these unknown lots, right? Because I don't see Louisiana on there. Would it come under? Okay.
John, can you,
As long as it's.
well, you can see on there.
It's not on
It's
there.
fine. I'm not bothering. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, we didn't do anything with Louisiana.
Oh, you didn't close the back of my property then?
We can add it.
That's what I was asking.
But we'd have to start it from, like, Goodwill's down, so Jason, because I didn't want him to, because the church property runs right beside the house.
Yeah. So my only issue is just, unless we
Right.
could get, who owns the church? It's the Mifflin's Lions Club, right?
Yeah.
So if they was to sign me some kind of an easement to say, I can
Right.
always have access to that
Right.
parking lot, then I'm perfectly fine with it. I just
So
wanna
we
make
don't
sure
have that
I,
part of it.
okay.
Is that your only way in and out?
Yes,
So it'd be an easement by necessity. I can tell you that from what I do know about property law, it would be pretty easy to obtain.
okay.
So, that is one thing I remember about my property law class, is so that you can't legally do any, like if you box somebody in.
Well, I'm not legally boxed in because I can still, I don't have a driveway off of 603. I
Yeah.
would be forced to make a driveway off 603.
Right, but, and
if-
so that's, but because of that,
Mhm.
right, like hypothetically, you would be boxed in for the purpose of this kind, like, then we would be able to get to that easement.
Okay.
What, going by what you said, right now, if you were closing Louisiana behind there, you would in effect be causing that by this ordinance.
That's true, I wouldn't be really.
Yeah, and that's where that easement would come into play, is what I'm saying.
Well, why should the Lions Club have to give him an easement because you took away the access?
Well, I didn't do anything.
No, but as the village,
Yeah.
this is just, I'm not trying to argue, I'm just trying
No,
to.
yeah,
I understand your argument, but it doesn't make any sense. If the village is closing the access he has, why is somebody else forced to give up property?
Well, actually,
grant that.
he doesn't access his house on Louisiana.
Well, he would have to
Yeah.
if the Lions Club was private property.
Right.
It's all if this happens, but whatever.
yeah, and I think that, you know, the argument to be made there would be for public policy, but then, I mean, I'm not saying that it would even have to get to that, you would just discuss, I'm saying that is a legal principle that exists.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Even if this wasn't what it is and
Yeah,
stuff, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm
If
just
you
saying.
wanna see what his looks like, it's right here.
Yeah.
I can show you.
And just take a quick peek at it.
Yeah.
And it's
This
actually
is his house.
below Goodwill's because he owns that chunk behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he owns that.
Yeah, so there's an alley
35
between
is
my
it,
two properties
whatever
that
it is.
I'm all for that.
So you're gonna let him access his property, but you're not gonna let me access mine?
Yeah,
Why wouldn't you be able to access yours?
From the alley.
Okay, so I'm
You
assuming
both get
You're gonna
5
shut
feet of
these
the-
alleys?
You both get 10 feet of the alley, so
No,
how-
no, we don't, that's 5 foot.
So that's my daughter's car,
Yeah,
so we
you can
still
put it
use
on.
some of that property, because the lines come and go.
Louisiana
I come
was
in
20.
this
How about,
way, and
how about
sometimes I
the
come in-
access to my pavilion?
Shows on here, Louisiana is 20 feet.
Okay, so.
That's
so
not
as
the
long
one
as
they're
I can
closing.
get to this driveway from somewhere.
Not
and
Louisiana.
how long you-
Yeah.
Florida.
And you've been using.
What?
I use this
Florida,
and
they're
that.
closing, they're closing Alaska, behind your house. Now I can't get to my
We are
pavilion.
not closing Alaska behind my house. You did not read the paperwork.
What'd she say?
Read it.
Yeah, yeah.
I did
just
not
wanna
put
make sure that
anything
if-
behind
if
our
you guys can
houses.
close
That's where the
from
sewer
here
line is.
on,
And so is
because I can
Florida.
use Louisiana to come down.
The
here
main
and
sewer line.
this. Oh,
That's
and like-
not why we're not closing
Oh.
that.
Okay,
but I'm not-
do whatever you
I'm-
gotta
I'm
do.
not-
Florida
It
Street,
can be
you
changed.
get 5 feet, she gets 5 feet.
Or not the walls, but like the-
How
the
would you
town-
not be
How-
able to
how we gonna
access
know-
your property?
How are we gonna know where this 5 foot's at?
So,
Measures?
Off of
I don't know.
the survey that the
Okay,
village
let's-
should be
hold on.
providing?
Jesus.
Wait a second, and
I mean,
so,
that's just.
The village should be providing
I'm going with the road that.
survey for the land they're giving away.
So it should-
Well, if you look
hold
at
on.
the
Well,
map,
we
So
will
everybody
let the
That's
court,
enough.
the courts will
Okay,
take
you
care
guys
of
shut
this.
up.
so-
Wait
Don't
till
tell me
he's
to shut
done,
up.
and then
This
you
is
can
all
talk.
Louisiana, I own 36.
You can ask me, but you don't act
Okay,
that
please
way.
be quiet.
All right.
So I own the LA.
Okay.
He does.
Yeah, I mean, theoretically, hell.
Yeah, I know.
Since you have way now.
We'll probably close more alleys.
Good.
They would have to be by prescription.
More people be
They
walking.
couldn't force me to make a
Really?
driveway.
We're
Yeah.
closing alleys
Because
that
my
people
sewer
do not
pipe runs
use
straight
now
through the
for
center of
driving.
my yard and-
Really?
Really.
People have asked.
I
us
go in
because
that every
it's
day.
I try to work with
Any
people.
alley
She
you're
uses it every
closing
day.
is not paid.
Oh, now it's
Okay,
paid.
I just told you guys, knock it off.
I thought-
Gary, come here, please.
I used kindergarten words, maybe you'd figure it out.
Yeah, maybe.
Alright, that's,
We can't get order here. We need you present.
So is that,
we're good.
Okay,
He and I are good.
Mr. Craig has a question for you about the survey.
So that's written so it can all be antecedent afterwards. So that's the language in there about the necessary paperwork and the actions to take. You're talking about the 5 feet, right?
That the village should provide.
Well, we were going off because of the lots. You used some acronym, I'm sorry, when you messaged CIS, CSI.
Yeah, GIS search
G-
on the auditor's website.
So it's out there, this is to get the ball rolling, Fred. It does, not everything's gonna be able to be gifted and done right now, because theoretically, if you wanted to reject the gift, he could.
But theoretically,
He wants to reject the gift because show him, Joyce and,
You can finish your question.
theoretically, the village owns these properties. They weren't platted. They weren't taken from anybody else.
Right, follow you.
So the village owns this. If the village is gonna gift them, the village should provide a survey so the person knows what the gift is.
I agree with that.
Okay,
We're on the same page.
all right.
I think our issue is just one of timing.
Okay, let me ask you this. What is the hurry that we have to have a special
we've
meeting?
been doing this for 6 years,
You've been,
trying to do this.
you've been
for
wasting
6
money
years.
for 6
I
years.
know. So
But
you
I
know
ask a
enough.
question.
That's enough.
What is the hurry?
What
Do
about
you
the
know-
alley that runs through his field? I thought you wanted that shut.
I will worry about all my stuff at some other point now.
Oh,
When
okay.
he's at it.
To answer your question, no, I just did what I was asked.
Okay,
It was right the ordinance. Okay, it's like,
well, we'll just let the courts deal with
This
us.
is
I mean, that's
This is her
fine.
property.
Do whatever you gotta do.
It's an alley that goes to a field for trees.
okay.
You're denying me the right to access my
He
property
can still
from this
access his
alley.
property. I don't
So
know
it's
his
not for
property.
the general good of the
Got a
village.
driveway in. for
Yeah,
that.
it's a drive.
Is your garage on the alley?
No,
So how many feet does your property go out from the garage?
I have no idea. I haven't had a survey.
People before
It
said
shows on that
6
GIS
inches
map,
from
if you're
a-
gonna go by that, 10 foot. So if I get another 5 foot, that's gonna put it, 15 foot out. She's gonna need a new driveway. Tomorrow, if you pass this tonight, tomorrow there will be
No,
something in the way
You
down
got
there.
5 feet. You got plenty of room.
Don't
And I'll
have-
just say,
no.
the GIS has a disclaimer that those maps are not
Right here's the
Right.
pool.
Right.
My
But
property
it
line
does
comes
show
right
that.
on the other
It's on
side.
house,
It-
on the house.
Yes, it shows certain things, but
Right.
it also has a disclaimer that it is not 100%.
It's not to be used for a survey.
When you purchased
Okay,
that
that's
house,
enough.
Freddie, you
Let's
should have had
calm
a
down one
survey.
at a time.
So you do know.
Pam, go on.
I'm not talking.
We're having a meeting here, we're all together.
Well, get
You
it
got
going then.
something to say to save everybody. He has an alley behind his, that, there's another alley that has a garage on it, that goes by his house.
Not on my property at all,
The alley's not,
though. The alley is, but, yeah, on my property, the Goodwells.
garage isn't,
The
right?
garages, yeah, them,
The alley's actually supposed to go straight to your son's property back there.
yeah.
'Cause yeah, if you look
Okay.
at the alley over here, it actually goes through, almost through the house on that map. So you know that that's.
It's exactly 10 foot off on that map. Here's where the alley is, here's where it shows it is, the 10 foot.
And every time they find pins and survey go in different directions, there's 10 foot missing.
Yeah. Well. I just find it strange that I can't use my alley that is used all the time. She uses it every day. I don't use it every
I
day.
have no access. I have no driveway.
You think you will after this?
Okay, I have a question. When you were mayor, why did you always threaten to tow my car out of my driveway?
'Cause you was parking in the alley.
Did you need that alley for anything?
I have 22 acres down there.
And
If
you're
I
gonna
wanna,
go
if,
down over
if
that
I-
ravine?
who filled that in? If I wanna access that 22 acres or develop it, and there's already an alley there,
But
why
my house
shouldn't
is
that
on
al-
that alley.
is it?
Yeah, it
You
is.
got a survey?
Yeah, we did
So,
have it surveyed.
this is why you're closing the alley there.
We're
Did you
closing
not
the
know
alley
that?
That's
because
all,
we
that's
don't
fine,
eat.
that's fine.
It's not just my alley.
Oh,
It's a lot,
now,
okay.
two,
That's,
you already said it, that's fine.
Danny Zayner's.
Thank you.
okay, that's
No,
enough.
he wants that.
Two, there's
Yeah.
people that just bought property back here and you're gonna shut them off of the two
Actually,
alleys?
no, we're not, if you were listening.
Who,
Zaner,
Zayner's property,
it's not being
behind
closed,
them.
it's not on the list.
I will get a copy of this afterwards, so it don't make a difference.
we know.
Do whatever you gotta do.
We will.
I would think that by gifting these, some
It's
of
not,
it, from a neutral standpoint, one, it has the potential to decrease liability for the village, because you are now giving somebody private property rights as opposed to something that could happen on public property. Second, when those become transferred to those people, that's gonna increase the it may be only by a couple cents or dollars, I don't know property tax rate, but it's gonna increase a little bit of tax revenue. I don't know, these were not presented to me, these is just from things looking from an outside standpoint that I think are beneficial for everyone, as well as it allows private land ownership for it to be used and developed as the landowner sees fit. Those are the rationales I see for public policy without talking to anybody aside from being asked to write this and given the coordinates.
Well, you know that anybody that wanted to close an alley in this village for the last however many years could have petitioned to do that.
Fred, I don't know that because I went to law school in
Right,
California.
I
I haven't lived here for
Well,
a
it's
while.
in the same thing that you just,
I mean, I'm not disputing, I'm
Yeah.
just saying I don't have personal knowledge of that.
there's two ways to close an alley in Ohio.
I've
One
been
with
on for a while.
petition, one without petition.
Right, and this.
They've had 6 years to do this.
We talked about it before you ever moved to this village
And-
20 years ago.
And this is, the language in these has been taken from other attorneys I've spoken to as well as some of the.
Okay, no, that's fine.
No, I know, but may I just finish?
Sure.
I'm trying
Yes,
to be
please
very
do.
calm. Some of the language has been taken from the city of Mansfield, okay? That's where I got this, I was able to model it from them. I went through old council meetings and, or not council, city, yeah, it's city council meetings and city ordinances and pulled some of the language. Because that way, I know that if that tracks, if a city as large as Mansfield has done it, and then you use that kind of language, and it's been strong, good language, then we can able to do the same.
So in this code book that the village has adopted, section 99.44, can you explain what that is?
I barely have 4511 memorized.
Okay.
I'm not.
They have a copy of the code book, if we could just do that real quick.
do you get it for him?
Yeah, sure, no, I'll
What's that section, Fred?
95.44, or 94.44.
Should I wait until they get back? Pardon me?
Effective order of vacation.
Yeah, no, I found it.
Okay.
Yeah, it talks about easements.
It's the same thing as Ohio's like code is in our ordinance book.
But the right of way and easement therein of any lot owner shall not be impaired by such order. My understanding would be that if you close these alleys, any lot owner in the village can still use that alley.
My understanding would be then you would never be able to effectively close any street anywhere that's been paved.
I didn't write the law.
Yeah.
They adopted it.
These aren't paved alleys.
Yeah, I know, well, no, I'm just, I meant paved is just, I understand that, I mean,
Okay,
like,
that's fine.
We also have the signatures of the residents who
That
wanted
asked,
them closed.
yeah,
yeah,
they
and,
asked it.
and I would, and then that argument would go that by giving those signatures and the permission, it cuts against.
I give no permission to nobody.
I think you were the only one that did it.
Yeah, you're the only one that didn't.
Okay.
Can I ask a question, just
Sure.
out of curiosity? For instance, the property here with the alley and the driveway. Say it is closed, do they both have to put in a new driveway? Cause there's an alley that is, I mean, not trying to start an argument, an alley that's closed, it is a shared driveway, would that other person have to put in a driveway?
Help me out, like, I really
Unless their
struggle.
car is 5 foot.
There's,
I really struggle with, like, I need a visual.
Okay,
That's what I was getting
there
at.
is a shared driveway on
Okay.
one of these,
So like,
that
is it house,
house
driveway?
and house,
And then driveway?
driveway goes on this house and comes over this way. Would this homeowner have to put in a driveway if the alley is closed because it is in between the two in the driveway? Unless this homeowner does not care, I mean,
I would think, I wouldn't think so, I mean, but then it would almost, then you have two private property owners that would have to have a discussion, and the government and the private property owner have to have a discussion. I would think, without kind of seeing the plots and everything, that, one, I'd have to do a little more research, but I would also think that my gut tells me no, but that doesn't mean it's right.
okay, well, like, I was just
Yeah, I'm
asking,
just-
like Joyce's scenario and
Right.
Fred's, it is an alley, and they both can access it, cause it's an alley. If it is to be closed, do they both then have to find a new way to
No, I wouldn't
do a
think
driveway to access their property?
You're saying I can still use the alley then?
Not on my 5.
Then you can't
I'll
use
make it
on my
my own
5.
driveway. I'll make
See
it
what I'm
my
saying
own.
here?
Sorry, that probably started a whole nother.
Right
Yeah,
now,
you did,
I
but it,
have no
it's fine.
driveway.
I think that how it would look is that it would depend on the past and prior use
Of each
that-
resident?
of each resident of that other drive. That is where, without knowing more, I don't know
Okay.
anymore.
That answered my question.
Yeah, but I
Okay.
do believe that a lot of property laws developed from in general, right, it's the public policy behind it is to make sure that property is used in a positive manner.
Right.
And that it's maintained and used and to encourage that use, and if not, that's when things get closed, taken away, or possession is shifted.
So let's be straight. The alley between my property and her property gets closed. Are you saying I can use that alley, or do I have to put in a new driveway?
You already have.
I don't know what your property looks like. To be completely honest with you, I
There's a
don't-
10-foot alley between two parcels.
Okay, right. You're gonna get, and then if it gets closed, you get 5 foot, they get 5 foot if you want.
So if my
Right?
car,
We agree on that
right,
part.
yes.
Okay.
Well, I don't even know if that's the law, but if
No,
it is, that's
the way it
fine.
was written.
Okay.
That's the,
So, if my vehicle is bigger than 5 foot wide,
And so you go up by 6 inches, right? Say, let's just play that number.
all right, yeah,
6 inches.
or 1 inch,
Okay, 1 inch.
so I have to put a new driveway in.
No, I don't think so. I think you'd be able to encroach on that 1 inch, but easement by necessity.
So, then I can encroach another 5 foot then.
That would be taking up my 5 feet because actually the garage is right on the property line.
She doesn't know because she hasn't had a survey. This is, she's
Right.
gonna say, well, the previous owner told me.
Well, he does have a survey and he's not telling us, so.
Well, I mean, so those representations, when you buy a house, those are supposed to be good unless you have a deed where it says it's not. Right? I mean,
Right.
or else nobody would ever buy property.
Right.
But I think that,
I just wanna know if I can use this alley
well, I don't.
without putting in a new driveway.
Can I add something
Go
to it? I'm not trying to choose
You're-
doing it. I don't think what's getting conveyed is the alley here and Fred's garage access is, if you're coming into the alley,
Fred's
is off
garage.
of the alley. So he would
I
technically be
can't-
turning into,
I can't,
and that's where I think.
if I
the
needed to
confusion
get in
is.
that garage, which I probably would never.
He could physically walk to it, but he could not drive into it if we're talking about property. Like, don't go.
And
places.
I wouldn't be able to go behind that garage because I couldn't get past that garage and her new property.
Can you help, if I come,
Yep.
can you help me out? Okay. So this is you, right?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So if we close it,
Right.
that's probably I don't know,
6 feet?
yeah, probably 6 foot there.
Okay.
So if I get half this, I still can't drive through here. I've got 22 acres back
Well, no,
there.
so what it's saying, the way it's
How
written.
do I access my property?
So, that 5 feet, like,
Yeah.
that, you know, right into the it extends the length of your existing property line.
That doesn't help me if I'm,
So where does
what if
it?
this is only 2 foot
No, no,
off
no,
the
no,
garage?
no, no, I understand, I'm trying to make sure that, like, so theoretically.
I
that-
would have to tear down a garage
Well, I
to
don't,
access my
I don't
property.
think you'd have to tear it down, but what I am saying.
How would I get there?
I just wanna
Sure.
make sure we're clear on
Alright.
one thing, that your gift would
Okay.
extend the length of this,
I
length of this
understand that.
property line, okay.
But if it's still not wide enough
Does
to
your, and
get
your garage,
past
your
that
garage,
garage,
your garage door faces this way?
yes.
Okay.
And even if there's no door, I don't care. If this is only 2 foot off,
So what street, what alley is this?
this is Florida.
Alright, why don't we just, alright, fine, here would be my suggestion. Don't close Florida, and close all the other ones. If you want my honest suggestion, don't close Florida, cause then there's no standing.
Thank you.
But there's
Thank you.
more that, to behind the scenes of this.
Okay.
I'm trying to get things done tonight, and to keep things out of court, if you want honesty.
Because it will go to
But-
court.
We're
Yeah, but
sitting
then there's a
here,
whole other issue
we
with-
are sitting here in this room, listening to a lie. Okay, he has access to his property,
And it
other than the alley.
Just move your driveway over and put up a big fence, and you don't have to worry about it.
It doesn't, but so.
I have 2 phone poles that, they, electric came and took one out, so I would have enough room. Because on my property, there is 2 points of exact boundary lines from Musk Kingdom.
So if
They're exact.
if Florida were to stay open, how does that harm you?
Because those two,
Because
Is
you
it- is
have,
there- is it- is there a pri- is there- is
you
there-
have no
But is there a
idea.
private neighbor issue?
yes,
Okay,
Terrible.
okay, so, but for this, and Florida Street can be addressed later. Please just, I understand the frustration, I'm very frustrated at this moment.
I have a mud hole from his new driveway that he put in right beside that yellow garage. that
I
he
didn't
says
do
he has
anything.
no access.
We're not, so.
Oh, no, the
Right,
company
Hold on,
did.
no, I just wanna stay on topic and explain my rationale. Is that Florida in and of itself can always be addressed later. It's, to me, and again, I'm not counsel, I just write the legislation and I'm just the solicitor. It is not worth killing an entire ordinance this time when we can always address Florida later.
I have been waiting since I've been there with all the problems that I've had.
I
With his
understand that.
accessing, with his four-wheeler, I have mystery damages on my
And I
place.
understand, I also don't ultimately make the legislation. I just write
Okay,
proposed
here's the
legislation
thing,
and can
he
advise.
is telling you a lie. He's saying he has no access. That is a lie.
And that very well could be true. I'm not here to determine the veracity of any statement.
He has never, ever parked a car in there. And he has only used it for storage. And he doesn't need 8 people to get in there. And I need to clean up my water mess.
And your
I need
property?
to have all the debris and everything in the summer. I have a lot going on there. I need to get into my property. I have grandsons
I was trying to
who
be incredulous.
There's an alley, you can drive right in.
He has access from the front, and if they don't close Louisiana, he's up and down Louisiana all the time.
That's an unpaved hill.
He has access to that garage.
I am just trying.
okay. We need to just decide right now. Whether we're gonna pass this, we're gonna amend it, what's gonna happen?
Which, Florida?
Florida's the one that I suggested that, right, Fred? Florida's the one I suggested to be removed. Nobody has to listen to me. Again, you guys all understand that, right? Like, this isn't my fiefdom, I am just here to advise, and you guys pay me and tell me to buzz off.
in your,
I'm just trying to think of, for the sake of this, for this evening,
Now that won't work. Not gonna be able to-
will this issue, in your opinion, cost the village more money in court fees at a later date?
You are cost one by line.
One, I don't know, it's speculative, I don't know, because at civil
Pretty,
court,
pretty sure it will.
but at civil court, you can always move for attorney fees.
So what other alleys do you object to?
You said Alaska's wasn't on there.
Not behind the houses, it's not.
Okay, that's the only two I'm worried about.
Was Alaska the one Larry Thompson's property was on?
No, it's behind our house.
Oh.
It runs from the dairy bar all the way to the fire department.
As I've said, you guys can close the alleys beside your houses. I don't care about them. But if I ever do something with my land down there,
You've got
Alaska-
plenty of other access.
yeah, Alaska Alley. It's an alley that's already platted.
Okay, your point?
I'm just saying that. You asked me what other alleys.
Okay. We need a motion to suspend the rules. Second,
I'll second.
Dawn?
I
Joyce?
don't even know what I'm voting for, I'm so angry right now.
Joyce? Motion to
Suspend.
suspend the rules.
So
So we can pass it.
Oh, yes.
Pam? Yes. Jeff? Yes. Okay, we need a motion to approve this ordinance 7/21 to be effective today, either amended or not amended.
I would make it a little more clear which one you're voting on. But now it sounds like,
Yeah.
Okay, let's vote on the one that is amended.
Amended meaning.
Florida straw, Florida straw.
Is it open? Doesn't matter to me.
Okay, so then we're gonna make a motion to not amend it. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Dawn, you made the motion? Second?
What?
A second?
Sure.
Dawn? Joyce?
I need to ask a question first. How, if my vote is yes, does that mean that Florida stays open? Or,
This is not amended.
No, it's just like it is now, we're not changing nothing.
okay.
No, that's not.
Oh,
So,
No, is that right?
so just to clarify, nobody moved to vote on the amended motion, correct?
Right.
So then right now you guys are just voting on the motion as it originally is written.
Okay, yes.
So Florida is getting closed.
Yeah.
I don't know yet, I don't know, we-
If,
no,
if
okay,
that's
we're-
what they're doing though.
if it passes, yes, that's what that would.
Okay, Dawn?
You're not taking your solicitor's advice. Okay.
You said yes.
I'm not taking
Joyce?
yours.
You're voting to leave Florida in there and close Florida and
Okay.
all of them. That is
Yes.
what the
Yes.
motion is on the floor.
Pam?
Yes.
Yes.
Jessica? Okay, motion passed. Need a motion to adjourn this meeting.
A motion.
Dawn?
Yep.
Joyce?
Yes.
Pam?
Yes.
And Jessica?
See you in court, folks.
Hey Fred,
Yes, sir.
when you serve me, can you just serve me, it's a 30 North Diamond Street, I know you're gonna sue me, so just.
Yeah.
It's the city building in there.
Yeah, there'll be a whole list of them, so,
Well, I understand that, I'm trying to give you my accurate
Right.
address so that way
Okay.
service is proper,
alright,
that's all.
alright, thanks.
Yep.